Good morning and welcome to the third Swiss Text Analytics Conference. I am so proud to be here. I'm really overwhelmed because this is the third time we do it, and there is a German proverb which says, aller guten Dinge sind drei. There is not really a good translation for this. It's something like all good things come in threes. So this is the third time. I hope that will be the best conference. We have invested a lot of time to prepare this, and in the end, I will invite all the program committee people to come here and present themselves shortly. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really excited. I have to calm down now. What are we going to do? Swiss Text has one particular goal. We want to bring together people from industry and from academia to come up with cool ideas for new research projects. And this was the initial idea 3 years ago. We started with the hope that maybe 30 people will come, hopefully 40. And the first year we had something like 150, the second year 170, and now we have, with the one from today in the morning, 191 registrations, which is really cool. So we are still growing, and we hope that we compiled a program which gives you the opportunity to learn something, but also to have time to talk to people, to interact, to get some new ideas, and really to come up with ideas for projects. We did a poll last year, and many people said, well, we had some interesting talks, we had some interesting contacts. One had more than 10 interesting contacts where we had follow-ups. There were at least 3 research projects that we know of that came out of the contacts here. So we're trying to support this, and we hope that you will have the opportunity to get to know someone. This year we do something like a step or a jump forward. Until now, Swiss Text was always one day. And last year, people complained a little bit because it was so very tight, the schedule. So there was a poster session, which was, I think, 45 minutes, including the break. And people say, oh, I couldn't really see all the posters. So we decided to make it 2 days this year. And then we thought, well, what can we do to make it 2 days and have a little bit more, because if we just extend the same content to 2 days, that doesn't work. So we decided to include some workshops. We will have 4 workshops in total in Swiss Text this year. And we were really surprised that these workshops were booked immediately. So that's cool. On the one hand, on the other hand, they are for free, so we assume that many people also just clicked and said, I will join. So in the end, we will ask today and tomorrow whether you will really join the workshop, or if there are still some seats free, because we don't want to have people who want to go to the workshop and others cannot join. And then we thought about how can we attract more interesting content also. And we decided to run 2 tracks. One is a typical Swiss track, like we had in the last years, where we invite Swiss universities, Swiss companies, everyone who does something with Switzerland in relation to Switzerland, to submit a short abstract, what he wants to present. And on the other hand, we extended to scientific papers, and we made a call, particularly for scientific papers, which will be published afterwards in proceedings. And we had indeed submissions, which was not so clear. We had 12 submissions, and out of that we selected 6 which we considered really good scientific papers, and these will be published afterwards. You will see some of them as a talk here and some of them as a poster presentation. There is no differentiation between Swiss track and scientific track in the talks and the posters. It's just we selected those talks which we thought would be most interesting to listen to for the parallel sessions here, and then the posters which will be presented in the poster session then afterwards. Okay, so now you know a little bit about the conference, and as I said, the idea is that you get to know each other as well. So let me introduce you to yourself. Who are you? Where do we come from? It's a typical Swiss conference still. So most of the participants come from Switzerland, some from the western part of Switzerland, but the German-speaking part is the majority. But then we have also visitors from foreign countries. Could you just raise your hand if you are not from Switzerland? I hope you're really here. Okay. So not so many, so it's still a Swiss conference, and at the end tomorrow we will have to discuss whether we want to make it more international, or if you like the setting of having Swiss people here, which you can meet next week in Zurich, and what is your preference? This is our goal, that we just find out what you want, and then for next year we will adapt it a little bit. What do you do? We collected the information during registration, what you are going to do, or what kind of role you consider yourself. It's a widespread area. So it's CEOs, CTOs, CXOs, data scientists, researchers, NLP experts, which might be also researchers. So you had to decide at some time what you consider yourself mostly. And then I looked at the chart and I found, oh, that's cool, because we have as many CEOs as we have processors, and we have roughly as many researchers as data scientists. So that's cool. And I didn't put it on purpose on opposite sides. So this is just Excel doing this. Okay. Now, where do you come from is one thing. Where do you work is the other thing. As I said, we want to have industry and academia. So let's try to find out who is from industry, who considers himself, herself to come from industry. Please raise a hand. Okay, roughly half of the people. Academia, a little bit less. That's cool. Yeah, we found the same. And we have a lot of universities represented here. So basically all applied universities from Switzerland, because they are very interested in getting in touch with industry, but also ETH, EPFL and stuff like that. And on the other hand, we have a huge amount of companies, and we listed those companies which volunteered to be also in the list of participants in the end, because somebody wants maybe not to be in the list. And you will find the slides afterwards on the web, so you can, I hope everyone is there. If somebody is missing his name, her name, or company name, please let me know, then I will add it for the web version. Okay, I see everybody is very keen to memorize all these names. It's cool. As I said, I will put it on the web. You are missing.
Open to new positions.
Sorry?
Open to new positions.
Yes, open to new position. That's one cool company, I thought, yes. There was also a company PhD student, also cool. I removed that one, but I was not sure. Maybe that is a company name. I was not sure. Oh, by the way, we have the job board outside. So if you have brought a job posting or interested in a job, then you can just put it up today or tomorrow, and just go to the reception desk and get a stamp to be assigned. And then there is a tradition. Who was here in the last year already? Last year. Okay. Who was here already twice? Okay, cool. So you know that there is a tradition. When I started the conference, I was so eager to have at least one participant that I promised the first participant will get some chocolate. And that worked, because there was some participant after, I think, 2 weeks registering. And last year, the first participant was after 240 seconds after we put up the website. This year, he was not so fast. But still, it gets a chocolate, and I hope you're here. That's Silvan Jegen from Small PDF. Silvan?
Merci.
And now you recognize that I mentioned his name and the company name. They are located in Basel, so for next year, if you want to have some free advertisement here in front, just be fast registering. Okay, 1 year has passed since the last SwissText, and I thought it might be a good idea to think about what happened within this year. I think everybody has his own view of what happened in NLP, text analytics, what was important. So please take some 20 seconds to think about the most interesting, important milestone step forward in NLP that you remember happened within the last 12 months. So think about it, what you consider the most important stuff. Okay, and now since I think we cannot discuss with 150 people at the same time, I suggest that the first row turns around, gets to know the next row, and just discuss for 2 minutes what you consider, and the third row turns around and the fifth row. Just turn around, get to know someone who is sitting behind you, and tell him what you think is the most interesting stuff that happened in NLP. Oh. Okay, I see you have lots of ideas. Now I want to ask, hello. Could you turn around again and we can continue? I think this is a good starting point for your discussion during the break. You now know someone else, some new person. Okay, thank you very much. I had a little bit more time to think about it, and we came up with 5 events that we considered very interesting. And I just briefly run through to give you an idea what to talk about if you don't have anything to talk about except weather during the break. The first one is Ibm Speech-to-Text. That was beginning of 2017. You mentioned it? Yes, I did. Yes. They achieved an error rate of 5.5%, which is almost human level, depending on how you measure. There was also a paper by Microsoft which claimed that they were superhuman because they considered human level something like 5.9%. So it depends on where you consider it. But if you try it out, it's really surprising how good it works in transcribing even live discussions with more than one person. Second is a little bit weird. number 280. Okay. This was like a revolution. Twitter increased its size of tweets from 140 to 280. And there were a lot of blog posts saying, now the world will end. I mean, this is the end of Twitter, this is the end of online discussion, the end of social media. Half a year later, Twitter published a blog post saying, well, basically nothing happened except for some people tweet a little bit longer, but they tweet more. That was the primary effect. So, world didn't end. The only effect is that scientists now have to relabel all the data sets which are based on 140 characters because it's not really representative for the current tweet length anymore. Yeah. And this is what NASA said about the Twitter length. Very cool. There is a cool collection of tweets about what you can do with 280 characters. Then in September, there was a new kit on the block, DeepL, for machine translation. I guess everybody has heard of that already, who didn't really claim to be better than Google Translate, but there were a lot of blog posts saying, well, it works better and the quality is higher. So there is now a lot of things going on, and basically we said, well, for everyday purposes, if you want to just translate a project description, you should throw it into the translator and you can copy-paste it. And it's reasonably and mostly even better than my personal English, maybe. And then, also in late summer, there came a paper by Facebook. And this was, for me, like magic. I mean, there are moments where you think, well, that is impossible. And this is something like when I first tried out Quicksort. And it sorted something like 10,000 elements in less than a second on an old Apple IIe PC in the 1980s. And you said, well, this cannot be true because it's so fast. And this was, when I heard of that, it was really like magic. That's doing machine translation automatically without any bilingual data, without any parallel corpora. So we take documents in one language, and you take documents in the other language, give it to a machine, and it learns to translate automatically. And there is no alignment. And Eniko will give a talk, where is he here, in the afternoon about how this is done. I'm really looking forward to that. And then finally, 3 weeks ago, the last milestone, Google Duplex, where they showed how to do phone calls and make appointments with a haircutter or restaurant in natural language, discussing with the person on the other side, and it really sounds like a breakthrough. We didn't have chance to evaluate it yet, but if it really works like they promised and it was not cherry-picked, then this will be really a huge step forward. So maybe you find this interesting. Maybe you had other ideas. Who had something else which he considered most important? Okay, then I have a good coverage at least. That's cool. Okay, so I have to stay in time because this was one of the complaints last year that I always overdo my time. So we move on to the organizational stuff. Today's program, I think you all have the program in your bag. Just about the rooms, we will have now the keynote here by Irina, and then afterwards, after the break, we will have 2 parallel tracks. One will be here in that room. We will close this wall, and one will be in that room. I think this is track 1 and this is track 2, but we will put signs outside. And after the lunch, we will have poster presentations again in this room. So each one of the posters will be presented with a 1-minute pitch. And then we will have the poster session outside, where you can just walk around for about 1.5 hours, talk to people, talk to the posters and stuff like that. And there will be also posters from the talk, so if you miss one talk, you can see the poster and talk to the people who are there. And afterwards, we will come here together again for the final lecture, for the final talk by Nico. And yeah, that's. And then some things you should know. Wi-Fi we have a guest Wi-Fi here, and you can just log in ZHAW guest, and then they will send you an SMS, which you have with a key token, and you have to put it into some form, and then you have Wi-Fi access here. It should be self-explanatory. Thank you, Fernando. If it doesn't work, just come to Fernando, who is sitting here, and he can help you. Then, as you see, Lawrence is here again this year, taking videos of the presentations. We can avoid that we take videos of people who are standing in the front, but we would like really to put the videos on the web. So if you don't want to be on the video, try to sit somewhere in the outside to not be captured. That would be great. And we take also images. If you really don't want to be on images, just let us know, and we will try to filter out again afterwards your face. Then bathrooms. If you don't know, they are in that direction downstairs, and they are really in the outmost corner there and hard to find, so just go in that direction. Then we will have a Best Presentation Award, and we will have a feedback form which has a link in the last page of the program. After the sessions, please go there and vote for every talk that you attended, and then tomorrow we will select the best presentation and we'll get a prize, which is nice. Okay, talking about time, especially for the parallel session, we planned for 25 minutes for each presentation, and then a 5-minute break to switch between the sessions, so you can switch between the two rooms. But this is only possible if the sessions are exactly in time. This is one urge to the session chairs to just look at the time and really stop the presenter, even if he has some cool ideas and more stuff to present and more stuff. We had it last year, and more stuff. Just stop and say we have to stop now and switch rooms. And on the other hand, we will start the sessions in time, so please be there in the room. Okay, about the room, I think it's clear. These are the two main rooms. Tomorrow we will have a session here also, and this is the room in that direction for the poster session. Now, as I said, we will have one workshop today, the data expedition into the Swiss Twitter community. We have 40 registrations for this expedition. Now, could you please raise your hand if you intend to participate in the expedition, to see how many it is really? Could you really raise it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Okay. So there's a little bit room left if you want to join. The expedition will take place today in the morning and then also in the afternoon in parallel to the poster session. But if you stop a little bit earlier, you can go to the posters and have a break afterwards as well. The data expedition will be, and now, in this direction, one floor upstairs. So you have to go to the entrance upstairs and then go in this direction. We have some signs, but it is a different building, and you have to look around a little bit. Okay, then almost last one. Tomorrow we will have a hackathon for hate speech detection. If you want to participate, it was not originally in the program, it's new. If you want to participate, please bring your laptop, which makes it easier to do machine learning, usually. I think so. Okay, and yeah, I would like to thank all our partners and sponsors. We have a great support on one hand in the scientific community, which is all the universities which are in some way contributing by sending people to the program committee or setting up workshops with us and stuff like that. And on the other hand, we have a lot of sponsors which are supporting us with money and manpower to really bring this event here. And yeah, I just want to thank you already, because it's very important that we have this support. I'm always surprised how much work it is, and without that, it wouldn't be possible. Last one. These are the guys who you can ask if you have any questions. This is Fernando, Dirk, and Don, who are, well, Fernando is sitting here, and the other ones are all outside, and Ada is taking pictures over there, and Amrita will be in the reception desk if you have any questions. Okay, thank you. And now it is my pleasure to announce the first keynote.